Hey everybody, it's Kelly here at Don't Run with Scissors, my little channel here on Flosstube where we talk about all kinds of crap. I have ADHD or ADD and it shows. So we talk about life, we talk about my dogs. In fact, I turned on the camera and my little wiener dog has run up into my lap like, okay, it's time to show me. Um, so I am the mom of twins, boy-girl twins, who I refer to as being in the boy child most of the time. We talk about how the boy child likes to play French horn at all hours of the day, and sometimes I don't know what the hell he's playing. We talk about my Jeep, and we talk about crafting, and lately it's been a lot of cross-stitching. There's some quilting going down. I do knit, I do crochet. I have it, okay, so right now, just putting this out there, so in 2020 year, it is the year I learned to knit a sock. The heel scares me. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know. I'm going to have to watch a million videos. I may have to just suck it up and take a class. Because I'm not getting it. I have a whole sock knit from the cuff down to where the heel is, and I can't figure out the heel, so it's stuck on my needles. I also have a sweater that I can't figure out how to do the sleeve part. It's very weird because it was knit from bottom up, because I know how to decrease, but I don't know how to increase when I knit. So knitting from the top down, neck down, that's a lot of increases. But if you start at the bottom and work your way up, it's not really. Yeah, you don't really increase except for when you get to the sleeves, and usually I've knit sweaters before and I had a problem, but this pattern I can't figure it out. So as soon as I can, I'm going to get on either Zoom with a friend of mine who is an amazing knitter. Her name is Kat, and she's at whynotfibers.com. Beautiful yarns. I've talked about her before. They're very soft, just gorgeous stuff. So I will pop her link below because seriously, go patronize her. You will not be disappointed. So I might get on Zoom with Kat. We've looked at the pattern and where I'm stuck, so that she can walk me through it. So eventually I'll have a sweater that I started a year ago. Seriously, started a year ago. A year ago in like August. So we're going on a year and a half old. One day I'll get a sweater. Yeah, so anyways, I am bound and determined to learn to knit socks because for Christmas 2021, not only am I going to have amazing stitchy things, I want to have a bunch of socks. Santa Claus always brings socks for stockings in my family. I'm assuming he does that in other houses. I don't know. But yeah, so usually Santa Claus brings ones with funny sayings on them. Last year he brought the boy child ones with French horns on them. And I think if I remember correctly, Santa brought the girl child ones with the periodic table on them or something. They were something chemistry. And there's my other dog, Lizzie. She is a hot mess dipped in glitter, but I would not get rid of her for anything. She is... Bean just hollered out from the... She's like, did you just call her a hot mess with a stick of butter? No, she's a hot mess dipped in glitter. So this week we have, I have an FFO. Yay! I have some quilting. I have some stitchy kindness that actually made me ugly cry. And okay, first of all, I'm an ugly, nobody cries pretty. Do they? Do people cry pretty? I'm an ugly crier. I'm going to admit that when I break down finally and cry, because I'm not a crier. Believe it or not, I'm not a crier. But I ugly cry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to reach something so I can show you. So I have some FFOs. I have some FOs. I have some plans. So let's get going. How about we roll? Wheels down, baby. Oh, the other thing that I found out that's really exciting. So fingers crossed. Well, fingers crossed for several things. Yeah, we could use some positive things on a couple things. But I found an Ironman race that is very para-triathlete friendly, which is what I need. Ironman is a corporation. The WTC is not like they're not overly para-triathlete friendly. So this is an independent race company, which I love because they're usually like, it's a smaller field. I think they're limiting it. It's going to be the end of July. It's limited, I believe, to 200 people total. I've already spoken to the race director. He answered my email back, I want to say in less than 3 hours, which like, and I emailed him on a weekend. So I don't expect answers like that to questions that I have really fast when I email somebody on the weekend. He was like, please come race with us. You know, you welcome you with open arms. Let me know what you need, kind of thing. Because I ride a tandem, so in transition areas, my bike is longer than the average bike because it has to fit two of us. So to kind of maneuver that, and then you've got at least two people because I've got me and my guide, all of our stuff for each of the disciplines. They have a longer run cutoff as well, which is key for me because I'm a slow runner. I have to run at boob allowance speed. And my girls are big. Okay. So we just need the money. Like right now with money being so tight, I have a hard time allocating that money to something, even though that is been my ultimate goal since I had the first brain surgery. So we came close to getting it, and we ended up with a DNF that race because I collapsed on the bike course. We are not looking, and the way this race with their deadlines are set up, it sort of takes a little bit off of that. I want to say that panic that certainly affects neural conditions. Adrenaline does, and things like that. So hopefully we can get because it's such a small field, it's limited. So you've got to kind of act fast. But if we can do it, it will be the end of July of 2021 in Wisconsin. So fingers crossed, because yeah. So, okay. So wheels down, as we say in racing. We're putting the wheel down. Wheels down, and we're going. Okay, so let me show you my FFO first. I have a weird order I want to do. So this is pattern from Plastic Little Covers. Oh, and it would help if I turned it the right side up, because Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So all I did was, I have some foam board. This is actually her finishing idea as well. Seriously, not this creative. I mean, I guess I am, but I wouldn't have thought to do this. So I just wrapped it on some foam core board. Right now it's just pinned because I have to figure out where I put my glue gun sticks. I know where the glue gun is, but I'm not sure where I put the sticks. So I just pinned it in for whatever. And then the red pom-pom trim from Joann's that was on sale. So yeah, so there you go. I had some counting issues and I misplaced whatever. I didn't rip them out. Honestly, I didn't. Life's too short, and I wanted it done so that I could display it this year. But it makes me happy. It makes me laugh. Honestly, it just makes me laugh because I think it's hysterical. So the other things that I did, and you're not going to be able to see the whole thing, and I haven't figured out the fancy way of putting the picture in. My kids probably know and are just not telling me. They're like that. Sometimes they're just dickheads about stuff. They'll know how to do something, and they just like to watch me struggle and laugh. And then they'll come over later and they'll go and be done. Whatever. I still knew how to walk before you did, kid. So this is, I got the tops done for each of their quilts. I have to layer them in the next day or so. Although my kids are cool, if I wrap up the quilt top with the backing all in a package, they'll be fine. They'll live, and then I'll quilt them next weekend. So this one is obviously for the boy child. Got some French horns going down there. and a center panel that, of course, has music and French doors. Because what would you expect for the boy child? Seriously. Okay, so here's the one for Bean. And she was here when I sewed it. It's not like in the same room. It's not like she doesn't know I did it. So, again, just a center panel and some borders. Real simple. But I had started when Bee went to school last year in the dorms. She was there like a month or two. She would come home on weekends. It's not like, but I started making her a quilt for like a lap size quilt for her bed for each month. So she's got a lot of the holiday ones and stuff like that. She's got one for November with like birthday stuff on it, because they're November babies. And so yeah, so I'm just kind of keeping that going because we're hopeful. Maybe not this school year. I don't think in the spring they're going back to the dorms. Not with everything. I would be hard pressed to think that they were going to the dorms. If they are, that's fine. It's not that far away. It's about a 45-minute to an hour drive one way to her college from home. And it's pretty much all expressway, so it's not too bad. But I don't think they're going to go back to dorms in the spring. I would just be really hard pressed. The boy child has already been told that his school will not be, they will be virtual again next semester. I'm grateful for it, but I know that the boy child, probably more than Bean, really struggles with virtual learning. And I don't blame him. I don't learn that well that way either. Although I have to watch a bunch of continuing legal education classes in the next like week or so, on criminal defense. It's not the most exciting thing. The other thing I need to do, and God, I hope people remind me, I need to go to the eyeglass place and have them adjust my glasses. Apparently, I've lost so much weight during COVID and all this stress that if I sort of bend down, my glasses fall off my face. Yeah. Okay, so those are my finishes and my FFO. Oh, I have one more finish. So this was the Steady Threads Sal. I actually finished Bulb 8. Bulb 8 is the bell. And I finished it the same day it came out. No idea what I'm doing with it still. There's mistakes in it. Don't care. Don't care. So yeah, it's super cute. It's super easy. I believe you can still get it on their website. I am still working on the other one that they had going on simultaneously. I guess I'll pull that out and show you. This is what I'm working on. Okay, so I have Mary Chris. I don't know who Chris is, but apparently he's married. He or she is married. What I realized as I was doing the S is I've shorted each one of these 1 stitch down. Like they should be 1 stitch bigger. Guess what? I'm not ripping this out. Not going to. Yeah, not going to. I did start to fill in the H. And then it's got dangling, like, I know I think there's a sled that dangles down. A pair of mittens. Let me look, because I have it up on my computer. Oh, let's see, Merry Christmas. And it has... Oh, there was a border around the branches and around this one that they suggest. I'm not doing them. Nope, life's too short. Don't do them. Not doing them. Let's see, there's mitten, a snowflake, a candle and a tree, a bell and a Christmas bulb, and then a star and a stocking that hang down from the Christmas. So those will get, hopefully, it's not going to happen before Christmas Day. It's not. I already know this. Because tomorrow I have I have 2 appointments with clients. And then Wednesday I have, oh, I got the kids' Santa pictures scheduled. And thanks to all of this, I actually have, I made all 3 of us matching shirts to wear to go see Santa. My kids are gonna die. Joanne's has Christmas dinosaur fabric. So all of our 3 shirts are Christmas dinosaurs. And they're gonna go sit on Santa's lap because they have to. Because I'm mom. Which cracks me up. Let's see. So other than that, the only other thing that I really remember working on in the last week, which feels like a blur. Tuesday came, and of course I worked on the taco sampler. And just so we know, the taco sampler is from Casey Bonagorio. It's from 2000. I'll fold it and show you. Let's see. It's from 2007. I didn't make this up. I'm not that, again, not mine. But I think it's absolutely cute. Casey, there's also by the same person, and I don't want to butcher her last name or his last name because that's just, that bothers me. Did a margarita one, which I think is funny. So my fabric is actually, it's the same size. So my fabric is actually wide enough that I could probably stitch margarita right here. Oh, so anyways, this week brought us onions and this little border. And that really is my needle that I've been stitching with. It's bent to holy heck. I don't know how it got bent. And I just haven't gotten around to like getting a new one. I have other needles. Don't worry. I have other needles. But it hasn't bothered me. So I just keep stitching along. I don't know. So margaritas will go on here. The other thing that I was thinking, I was like, they need a pizza one. Like, I'm wondering if, so tacos is probably, well, tacos is down to cheese. So we just have this, so we're about halfway. So it's really not that big. So I'm wondering, like, could I design my own that says pizza? What toppings would you put on it? Because, like, I know my pizzas, I have some favorites, and I usually, being as strictly pepperoni and cheese, that, like, if that's all you had to offer her for pizza for the rest of her life, she would be perfectly content. She doesn't need all of the vegetables and stuff like that. Sometimes she'll put, like, ham or sausage on it, but, like, she'll do, like, a meat lovers. But she's not one of those that, like, piles of vegetables on. The boy child, we have a restaurant here called Blazes where they'll put all, like, you pick your toppings and stuff, and then they like, put them in the oven with the flames, like a brick oven. They're really good. It's one of our favorite places to kind of go. And the boy child will put every single freaking pepper and onion available on his, as well as, like, the spicy sauce and this, you know, all of that. It is, bless his heart, one day his stomach is just gonna, like, I don't know, revolt. But the other side to that is really and truly none of us will eat each other's pizzas, because I'm a ham bacon, I'm a pineapple on pizza kind of girl. I'm a pineapple on pizza kind of girl. Both of my kids think that's the oddest thing. But I like it with ham, green olives, bacon, pineapple, and mushroom. And I prefer the canned mushrooms on pizza rather than, like, fresh mushrooms. It is what it is. I will also put spinach and feta on a pizza, depending on things, and Kalamata olives, which are way cool. So, like, how do I do a pizza sampler? Because I don't know. Or do I just pick, like, 7 or 8 generic toppings and put it on there? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. What does everybody else put on their pizzas? Like, I can't be that crazy. Okay, so that's my FOs, my FFOs. The only whip I've really worked on this week. Well, the two. I'm trying to think. Did we have snow? I think I do. I think I did work a little bit on Rudolph. So Rudolph calls for a Karen water lily. I forget the number. I really and truly do. But it's like a red and green, and it goes in the ribbons, like on him. Well, Karen water lilies they're like $6.50 a little thing. Is about the cheapest I can find. And I'm at that point where it's like I'm doing all of the reindeers plus Rudolph and then the sleigh. That's going to be a lot of Karen water lily. And I feel like they probably would have dye lots. I don't know if they do or don't, but I feel like they would. And I feel like then you have to buy all of them that you're going to need for the project all at once so that they all match. That's not happening. Plus, it means I have to either have them shipped in, so I'm paying shipping, or I have to drive the almost hour up to my LNS, which she's wonderful up there, and I'm sure she has them. Or if I call ahead of time, she'll make sure that they have them. But it's one of those, like, do I rationalize the expense? I don't know. So, okay, so for those of you who, it's a red and green kind of variegated is the water. I think it's 204. I think it is 204. So I pulled this DMC. It's 4519. What do you guys? I'm thinking of subbing out the water lily for this one because DMCs don't really have dye lots, and it's still the red and green, and the rest of them is stitched in DMC, except for the Krynic, which we all remember that. I'm doing the matte version instead of the glossy because I picked it up. So I'm just thinking that maybe this is a good substitute. Thoughts? I know, I'm trying to think who I know is stitching them. Oh gosh, I can see her face. She does all, not Vanna, but she does, Helen D. Helen D is stitching them. I don't know if she started them with all of her little ornaments and stuff that are fantastic. So maybe she'll see my video. I'll tag her. Maybe she'll see it and offer an idea. Because I've never seen the water lilies in person like that. So I don't know. So that's my current. But based on my screen and kind of holding them up, I think these may be a good substitution. I think. But I don't know offhand. So again, if you think it'll work or if you think it won't work, let me know. Because, if it won't work, then I'll use the DMCs for something else. But, then I'll know that I have to budget the money for the water lilies. So the other thing that I want to get done this week is Santa, which was in Cross Stitcher magazine, and I have the online subscription, which is really cool because for the price I get access to all of the back issues too. So a while back I was something like things were okay, and I spent the money on it, like probably close to the beginning of the pandemic. So I also have Mrs. Claus, who is on Autumn Lane's Stitchery's Etsy shop. She's adorable. And I have this thing, like, I love Mrs. Claus. I have loved Mrs. Claus since I was a kid. I loved Mrs. Claus more than Santa Claus. Mrs. Claus is like the epitome of the grandma who bakes cookies for you. And like, it's just like that kind of grandma. Does that make like she's the milk and cookies grandma? And how do you not love the milk and cookies grandma? Um, my dad's mom died when I was very young. I think I was 5 or 6 when she passed, so I don't really have a lot of memories of her. And my grandma um, is a very traditional Polish grandma, who I love. We called my grandma Honey. So my grandma Honey and my grandpa was Papa, and Papa used to play Santa Claus at the DAV when we were little. And so we each have a picture of us sitting on Santa Claus's lap, but it's really my Papa. And my son is named after Papa, so I love my grandmother. But my grandmother is, like I said, a very traditional Polish woman, and was the oldest of 14. hmm The oldest of 14. Bless her heart. Like, and the woman had like, she made us dolls. I have these beautiful Raggedy Anns. I have a Raggedy, like, she's a big doll, cloth doll. She wore like a size 6 dress when I was like, and I've had her since I was born. I think my grandmother made her before I was born. She was so sure my mom was pregnant with a girl. Um, and I've had that doll for like since then, obviously. Um, we when Bina was really, really little, we went up north. So my family has a place up in Kaysville, which is at the tip of the thumb. And some of my grandmother's dolls were there, were stored up there. And I think my grandmother was still alive at the time, and we took her up north with us, and my mom was there. And I took Bean into the one bedroom, and I put the doll clothes on Bean because she was that size that they would work. And then we set my daughter next to the doll, another doll, because she had a couple up there, and took pictures. So we have the picture of Bean doll and then the doll, the Raggedy Ann like kind of doll, and then they had the same little outfit on but different colors. I think Bean was wearing pink check and then like gingham, and the little doll was wearing yellow check. And oh my God, I haven't thought about this image for years, but it was the cutest picture. And like Bean just had the best smile, and she's just, my kids were so damn cute when they were little. I mean, they're still beautiful people, but they were really cute babies. They really were. But my grandmother was also very one of those matter of fact, like, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what we do. And growing up, I didn't see her as the milk and cookies kind of grandma. Like, she was always the strict grandma. Like, girls make the beds. The boys take care of outside. They're the ones who mow the lawn. They're like, take out the trash. In fact, I was late 30s, early 40s before I ever mowed a lawn. I didn't know, I don't know. My brothers did it. Then I went away to college. I got married. Now ex-husband mowed the lawn. It wasn't until I was much older that I mowed the lawn. So that was like, and then the first time I mowed the lawn, I was like, oh my God, I can start the lawnmower. I know how to do it. Both of my children know how to start the lawnmower. Both of my children have mowed the lawn. I'm not one of those, there's women's jobs, there's men's jobs, like as far as taking care of a household. That said, Bean is much more mechanically inclined than the boy child. So if something's got to get put together, I tend to look at Bean to do it. So I got to get better about that because the boy child needs. The flip side is if I want something really good cooked, as long as I can wait like 17 hours, the boy child is a really good cook. And then I have to spend 3 days cleaning the kitchen from it. But, you know, it's trade-offs. I didn't have to make dinner. Okay, anyways, so I love Mrs. Claus. So Autumn Lane Stitchery on their Etsy, and I will try to remember to pop the link down below, has Mrs. Claus too. And I think that the third one in the set is also in Just Cross Stitcher magazine. I think it's a snowman. But I want to stitch, this week I want to stitch those two. And I'm just going to do them on some like cream colored Aida. So that the white kind of, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to dye it. If I dye fabric, it's not going to be ready. They won't be done for Christmas. They may not be done for Christmas anyways, but whatever. So I want to do this. I want to do the Mary and Minty Sal. I have all of the parts. I think that's absolutely adorable. I know, like, I have the little accoutrements that I want to stick in the bowl, in my dough bowl, with them, because I think that would be really just a cute little vignette. I have a dough bowl that's actually a round bowl. I think I showed you guys. It's a round bowl. To me, honestly, it looks like one of those giant espresso mugs, without the handle. It's about that size. So I want to put Mary and Minty in there, and I've got some picks with peppermints and stuff on them, and I think that would look really cute. Yeah. So we'll see. So those are my 3 things that I'd like to get done, but I also have the quilts to finish. And God knows what else. Yeah. The other thing that's on my radar to stitch as soon as possible is Jardin Privé came out with it's a free pattern. It's 2 girls. The name of it says it's either United in Colors. Let me look. I have it up. There's Mrs. Claus. There's Mary and Minty. Here we go. Yes, it's called United Colors of Love, and the words are United Colors. And it's 2 women with flower border. It's little. It's not huge. It should be a fairly quick stitch. So that's on my radar to do. But I don't know that they're going to be done before Christmas. They're not. Let's just call a spade a spade. It's not going to get done in time for Christmas. At least not Christmas 2020. And that's okay. Okay. So one last little thing. I have some stitchy kindness that I received, and it made me cry ugly tears. Ugly tears. And I'm going to try not to cry again, because we don't need to see me crying. I don't do crying very well. I don't like to cry. My friend Kim, who does not have a Flosstube, but she is in the Stitch Life Happy Hour with me, sent me fabric. Because it's a red Jeep. It's a red Jeep. And it's flannel. And there's a lot here. So I have been debating, do I want to back like a small quilt in it? Do I want to make project bags in it? Do I want to make PJ pants? But that's a red Jeep. And I drive a red Jeep. So that is super sweet. The other thing is, after my last video, 2 very dear people watched it. And I debated after I posted it. I was like, I should take that down. That's just, it's sad. It's depressing. It's just, I debated. And I didn't. And I left it up. And I try to always be very transparent about things. I think that's important. And it's not because I want pity, because I don't. Like, please, like, that's not my thing. But the reason it started was after the first brain surgeries and everything that was going on. It took 5 years to figure that out. And I never want somebody else to have to wait 5 years because they had no idea. And then after you find out, to feel like you're all alone. And so if I can make somebody feel a little less alone through all of whatever life throws at them because they've heard my story and what's going on, then I think it's a good thing. Okay, so that said, I left the video up, and between yesterday and today, I got 2 amazing packages because I talked about the Christmas Opleka. And I think I'm saying it right. That's how I've grown up saying it, so I hope it's right. And not knowing where to go and get it, and it was just one of those things. And Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Prints, and I'm calling her out because I can't thank her enough. This is the Opleka. Okay, so it comes in an envelope, and I'm okay. Oh, so then it also came with pay. Now this is apparently on Christmas Eve. Now my family has never done this. We've never put this. You put this under your tablecloth, and it's a way of remembering that Jesus was born among animals. I've never heard of this, so I learned something new. But how cute is that? So that assumes I use a tablecloth. Um, so maybe I'll stick it under the kids' pillows. I don't know. But I've never heard of this tradition, but I think it's really a cool tradition. So anyways, so you get the Christmas alpaca. And I grew up, this is literally the one I've grown up using. And, oh, before I forget, so I got Bobby's, and I'll show you that one in a second. Kim from Stitch Life sent me alpaca as well. And the pictures are just really cool. If you're friends with me on Facebook, I do, during December, every day, I do an odd or unique. It started off as funny and bizarre nativities. As I said, I collect them. I think they're a riot. I have bobblehead Jesus. I have the nativity that came from my Jewish friend from Israel. I have the the Charlie Brown with Woodstock. The Little Tykes ones. I love them. I love nativities. It's one of those weird collections that I have. As well as my nesting dolls. So, like, I think the pretty pictures are really pretty. So yeah, if you know me on Facebook, you'll see like all the bizarre nativity sets. So, but this is the alpaca I grew up with the paper envelope, and it's so that like it's just like it's a wafer. I don't know how to describe it. I almost want to say, if you're Catholic, it's similar to communion host. So yeah, it talks about, it goes through the story, and it gives you the little Christmas prayer. And they're saying you actually do it on Christmas Eve. Now my family's always done it at on Christmas Day at dinner. So I don't know. And they don't, like, it doesn't talk about like the passing it around sort of thing. So maybe that's just my weird family. I don't know. But that's how we've always done it, and I think it's kind of cool, so I'm going to keep it, obviously, with my kids. So I have Christmas alpaca, and I can't thank you ladies enough. Like, seriously, I ugly cried. I ugly cried. And yeah, so thank you. Thank you for taking your time to make me feel a little bit better. I don't know how much alpaca costs. I don't, because yeah, one of those naivety things. But it means the world to me, and it will be extra special to share that with my family this Christmas. And apparently, for a couple Christmases, I'm set on alpaca. I love it. It makes me happy. Like, honestly, this makes me happy. Yeah, it's just it's a Polish thing. I don't know. Um, Other than that, like, life one day at a time. That's how we're taking it, and um, yeah. What is important, the most important thing to me right now, is that my family and friends are healthy, and we're making it work. So if there is something that I can do for one of you to make your lives just a little bit happier, like the alpaca sort of thing, if there's something that I can do, just let me know. Um, I've always been of the theory that they're just things. Like, If you need something made, it's just a thing. Like, I can do it. Um, if I can't, I'm starting to get better at telling people no, but um, we need to still keep in mind helping our neighbors. Um, a friend of mine saw something I wrote apparently, and her kids went and donated. They used their money. Her kids are older, so they have a job, but they used their own money and they bought a bunch of animal, like pet food, and donated that to a local food pantry. We need to realize that, we have food pantries for families, and I hope if you need it, use it. Um, but what we're seeing is a rise in, dogs and cats and stuff having to be surrendered by families who aren't able to afford that extra bill right now. So, and I can't think, both my dogs are rescues. Rescues have a huge heart, like place in my heart. Um, most of my dogs have been rescued, and rescues, and they come with a variety of stories, and they're they rank up there with my kids as far as places in my heart. So to think that somebody I know or myself would be in a position where it was, do I feed my kids or do I feed my animals? That's a horrible spot to have to be in, and I can't imagine it. So they donated, they had like cases and bags of animal food to donate for people who, so they don't have to make that decision. And I just, it made me, yeah, it just made my heart happy. So again, if I can do something for somebody out there, um, let me know. You can drop me a private message, um, and I will see what I can do. And if I can't do it, maybe I know somebody who can. I think that's one of the great things in the stitchy community. I didn't know where to get the alpaca, but Bobby and Kim figured it out for me, and they took care of it. And it's just one less thing that I have to stress out about. Um, and so, yeah, so if it's something, even if it's something like if it's important to you, then it's important to me. That's what I tell my friends. It's just the way it is. So anyways, this is getting long and I'm getting kind of, babbling, but it's almost Christmas. It's almost Christmas. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. During Christmas and New Year's, I generally kind of take a deep breath and sort of reset the house. As far as we set yearly goals as a family for on New Year's Eve, um, and do some other weird thing. My kids probably think they're weird. I don't think they're weird, but the kids think they're weird, and that's what matters because I like weirding them out. Um, so I also go through and clean out files and stuff at the office and try and wrap up accounts and whatnot. So, um, yeah, it's going to be kind of low key, and it's okay. Hopefully 2021 will bring us even closer as a group of people and moving forward in a good direction. So with that, and happy belated Hanukkah. I'm not sure when Ramadan is, but happy Ramadan. Happy winter solstice, which is today. Merry Christmas and happy Kwanzaa, because Kwanzaa will start this weekend. And if I've missed anything else that people celebrate, I'm sorry. Let me know because I'd love to learn. But I hope it's festive and I hope everybody stays healthy. I hope Santa Claus brings you what you need and what you may want. So, yeah. Good night. I'll talk to you guys later.